What's going on, everybody? Another episode of Viva Los Bills. Even though we're not playing, we're still here. We're still, doing our show. Might not be an hour long, might be a half hour, might be an hour. Who knows? We're just chilling. We're talking. You guys, cousin Vinny, as always. Buffalo
What's up? What's
Will.
up, man?
What's going on, everybody? How you doing, Vin?
I'm doing good, man. I mean, I would be better if we were in the Super Bowl, but I know we got a lot of work to do. I'm excited for next season, and I'm not too excited to watch the Super Bowl, because there's a team that beat us, and then you got Tom Brady. So I don't know. I'm kind of split on who to root for. I'm not excited about the Super Bowl. Put it that way.
Listen, I'm in the same boat as you are. I love the sport, so I'm going to watch, but I really don't care. I mean, listen, Kansas City has Sammy Watkins, the only ex-Bill, I believe now. He already got a ring, so I don't care. I like Andy Reid, but guess what? Andy Reid got his ring last year, so I don't care if he wins again.
What about McCoy?
Yeah, McCoy's on Tampa. But listen, I like sipping on that haterade.
Yeah. I'm gonna sip on it too with my pinky up.
Yeah, pinky classy because you keep it classy even when you're hating. So, hey, I'm most likely going to root for Tampa. I mean, we got Shady over there. Let Shady, even though he doesn't play much, let him get a ring. Why not?
He might not even be activated. I don't think he was activated last time he was he played. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully he's activated and gets a ring, man.
Hopefully he does. I mean, I like him. I don't wish him bad. I always liked Shady. I would have never probably traded not Matt Milano. Who was the guy? Kiko Alonso. I liked Kiko Alonso. He was having a good year. And then I thought Shady was at a high, he was good, but he had a big payroll, so.
Yeah. And that's something in the next shows. Broccoli Samurai, what's up? Yeah, go Bills. That's right. Hey, what's up, Broccoli Samurai? Welcome to the show. But that's another couple of shows we're gonna get into is all this cap stuff, man. Signings and who we're gonna sign and who's gonna cut. I'm already projecting a couple veterans getting cut, but we'll get into that another show. I mean, probably next show as things develop. You could speculate. We could speculate on who might get cut, but you know me, speculations. I don't really like speculations without having facts and money figures. But
yeah,
I got a kind of idea who might get cut. There's a couple people that are asking for top-notch money, and I don't think we're gonna, unless they tag him. Milano, I don't know. I think he'd probably be walking. Be honest with you. We'll see how it goes, man. But with this COVID and all this cap stuff going on, it's a weird. I don't even know how to follow it, to be honest with you, to see how things are gonna go. But definitely, we got to give Josh his money. Probably. What do you think about that? Extending him next year?
Well, that's the thing. You don't have to extend them this year, So. Yeah. If you need to sign some guys, you could do that next year. There's going to be a few guys. Let me see. I think I actually have it up here. Or I'm not. Actually, I probably don't. I got to look for it. But a few guys will be coming off the books. The problem this year is with COVID, the cap went from 210 million, I believe, and it's dropping to 175. So that's going to kill us.
Yeah,
but then you have some teams who have crazy amount of money, like the Jets are going to have, I think, like $70-something million worth of free space. And I think they're second. Somebody else is ahead of them in that. So it stinks. It stinks, because we might not be able to sign some of these players. Like, I was going to talk about, but I'll say that a little later. But, yeah, man, it doesn't look too good. They're going to have to continue to draft well, especially if the cap does go to 179. I actually put it down there where – and right now, the Bills are $8 million above the salary cap with 22 pending free agents. So maybe some reconstructions.
I'm hoping
guys do it. If not, some trades possibly. I don't know. It's going to look.
It's going to be tough as long. Look, we still got Leslie Frazier.
Mm-hmm.
We still got an offensive coordinator. We're definitely not getting rid of Josh. He's going to get signed. I'm thinking somewhere between 27, 35 million in that range, between 30, 35, I say, probably a little bit more. But, if these guys really want to stay in Buffalo, Beasley, there's a whole bunch of guys. Beasley, I think we got for another 2 years, I believe. But like guys like Jerry Hughes has been talking about, with his hit, but he's the longest tenured Buffalo Bill, and he did a lot of production more than Mario Addison. To me, was kind of I wasn't really impressed. Even though he had 5 sacks and Jerry Hughes had 4.5, but when you look at their production in terms of what they did during the season, I think Jerry Hughes was more of an asset, more of a game changer than Mario Addison. Milano, he wants top dollar. I think he's asking for 14.5. But really think about it, he really didn't even play a full season with us. He's a great baller, don't get me wrong, but
I will say this though, with him in the lineup, except for the playoff game, they didn't lose a game.
Yeah.
Even though AJ Klein was stepping up, he was playing better. But the problem is he wants top dollar.
Yeah.
And that's going to hurt because they don't have top dollar. So it's going to be tough. The one thing we did have, I think I still have it over here. Let me see real quick. This is the few guys they did sign to future reserves. So, hey, you might see a Jake Kumaro play next year, especially if some of these guys don't take the buyout. Not a buyout, but a salary reconstruction, So who knows? We could see him. We should see Antonio Williams to get some time there. Barkley's going to be a free agent. Now, do they sign him or just bring up Davis Webb as a backup? Between Webb and the other kid, they don't have no time playing, really, I don't think. So it's not like they have much knowledge. They haven't played. They're on the practice squad and so forth, but hey, who knows? Those are things they're going to have to check. And with the salary cap, man, it just stinks. It stinks.
To let coming back a couple. If we had him this year, we would have been a lot better.
Yeah.
He would have definitely helped with that run stop gap. Big body in there and.
Well, all right. Let's actually, you know what? Before we get into more of the Bill stuff, let's do a little news around the league. I know, again, we only come on pretty much Thursdays, so some of this stuff already happened, but we're going to talk about it. Today I saw a comment, I think it was on Pro Football Talk, about Roger Goodell talking about minority head coaching hiring. And his quote was, "It wasn't what we expected. It's not what we expect going forward. We have to look at what went right and what went wrong. They're not the outcomes we wanted. We want it to be a neutral process or natural process." Honestly, what do you think about how they make you, the whole head coaching process? Like, you have to go through certain steps. You have to interview, say, minority players, regular or white coaches, whoever you want. What do you think about that? Or how do you feel about the whole process as of now?
Man, look, if I go for a job, listen, I'm Hispanic. I'm from Puerto Rico. I'm Puerto Rican, all right? I know you are too. If I go through a job and I'm qualified to get that job, I should be able to get that job. But, if there's somebody that's white, if there's somebody that's black, that's more qualified than I am, they should get the job. That's the way I look at it. I don't see it as a color thing. I understand that they're trying to get more minorities to get into job interviews. But really, the one that I really am surprised is with Eric Bieniemy, to be honest with you. I don't know how that man doesn't have a head coaching job yet. So in terms of that, I think looking at his situation, he should be no doubt a head coach somewhere. But I don't know how it's working with because he's still on the coaching staff going to the Super Bowl. I don't know how that works. Maybe he will have a coaching job, but what is there left? Is it?
There's nothing left. So there was one African American coach hired, who was that wide receivers coach for Baltimore Ravens, and there was 3 actually, which was better this year. 3 African American GMs hired, so they got 3 GMs now in the league. But the head coaching job has always been an issue.
Yeah.
Like you said,
with the 3 GM hiring, you would think that more minorities for those specific teams would get more looks at minorities.
You would think so. I guess it all comes down usually to the owners, but the GM, if they're really giving up that control, then the GM should have, like you said, the final say or whatever, or bring it up and see. I don't know why Eric Bieniemy hasn't had a head coaching job. I mean, I understand he's coaching Kansas City. You have a bunch of offensive weapons,
Yeah,
but he should probably have a job. I mean,
I
listen, if
would
you
think
go
so.
35% of the coaches, just 35% of assistant head coaches are African Americans too.
Hmm.
Uh, Listen, Eric Bieniemy, he's been in Kansas City as an offensive coordinator. He's been with Andy Reid, so he's doing a good job. He's learning from one of the best coaches out there. Uh, my thing is this, though. I'm going to play both ways here. If I'm an owner and I know, let's say, I don't know, just like I like Bill Bellick, Brian Billick, I mean, who won a Super Bowl with the Ravens. Supposedly he gets a bad rap. Don't know why he's never been rehired. I watched one of the specials on the Ravens, and that year when everything was going crazy, he's like, you know what, guys, I'm going to take all the heat. I'm going to take all the heat from the media. I'm going to direct it on me, take it away off from you guys. You guys play, and that's what he did. And a
Yeah,
lot of people, I guess, hate him for it. I don't know, but if I see a coach I want, why? And it's messed up because I get it. Like you said, we're Hispanic. I want to go, or Puerto Rican, whatever, or Taino, whatever you want to call me right now.
mhm.
I want to go, and I say I want to get a job coaching food, like say the Houston Texans. But if I'm the owner of the Houston Texans and I know, man, I want Brian Billick, I still have to go through these steps that I'm really not even going through. Because you watch
Yeah.
some of these interviews, and I'm like, come on, man, are they really going to hire? Like, honestly, listen, I like Leslie Frazier, but let's
Just
go. Look at,
legally, pretty
huh?
much. That's what you're
Is what?
saying. They're going through the legal motions just to fulfill their legal
Yeah,
obligations. That's all. It's just
it's
like,
a bunch
you
of
know, we're going to go
hogwash.
through all this, but we still ain't going to hire them. But they're going through it to kind
Yes.
of cover their butts, pretty much.
And I get it. You want to hire, listen, if there's white coach, black coach, Puerto Rican coach, whatever he is, if that's the guy you want, you already know it, you know? Unless somebody comes in and really blows your socks off. If you already know who you want, that's who you're going to get. Listen, Leslie Frazier being one of the finalists, right? I was surprised. Don't get me wrong. In 4 years, Leslie Frazier's record was 21 wins, 32 losses, and one tie. His best season was 10-6, and they lost in the playoffs. That's what with Minnesota. After that, he never really had a winning record. So I've always said there's people who are coordinators and there's people who are coaches. You know, Leslie
Yeah.
Frazier is the Bills' assistant coach, but he's a defensive coordinator. I see him as a defensive coordinator, and that's it. I'm sorry, he already had his go. Can he change it around next time? Possibly. But if I'm going off what he did, I'm not going to hire Leslie Frazier as my head coach. Unless I know I'm bringing in one really good offensive coordinator, one good defensive coordinator. I say, listen, Leslie, all you have to do is manage. You know, that's what I would do. Now, another one, Eric Bieniemy, like we say, he has no head coaching experience, but you could get him for probably cheaper, which is messed up, and give him 4 years and let's see what he actually could do. And if he doesn't do it, then personally, I think I would have hired Eric Bieniemy before the guy from the Ravens. I mean, the Houston Texans now. Another guy who's lost in the mix is George Edwards. He was a Bills defensive coordinator for 2 years. I remember that. He got to Minnesota, and Minnesota's defense was horrible. He turned them around to number one.
Yeah.
So, for 9 years, he's been a defensive coordinator. No head coaching chance. Well, why not? You know, 9 years, it's a pretty long time. Jim Caldwell, who was brought back again, and he's had a few coaching jobs. Listen, he's Miami's assistant head coach. Good for him. As a head coach, 7 years. He's 62-50. All right, he has a winning record. What was his best ones? I don't have it here, but we know his best year was actually when he was in Indianapolis, and that was with Peyton Manning, I believe. So he had good players. He didn't do too bad in Detroit. It was like 9-7 or something like that. It was nothing great. So
But
do
we
you
as
really
fans,
want to give
listen,
him?
we have a perception. We're looking at numbers. We're looking at everything that's put in front of us, but we're not
Mhm.
actually on the field. We're not actually in the locker room. We don't know what the feel is from the owners. We don't know actually the production in terms of being in the inner circle. We're just looking at it as fans. So as a fan,
Yeah.
you're like, wow, look, Dennis Green was awesome. You know what I mean? Look what he did. He was a
Mhm.
pretty good coach. But then all of a sudden he's not. I don't even think he's coaching anymore. Where's Dennis Green at now? You know what I mean? Is he an assistant somewhere? I haven't even. Where's he at?
Man, he's in the upper room, bro. Dennis Green's been in the upper room for years.
I'm just saying, I'm just giving you an example. We don't know the true, what's going on in the inner circles and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Listen, I get it, but I'm just going off some of the guys. Like you saw Marvin Lewis. They were talking about Marvin Lewis possibly getting a job. And listen, Marvin Lewis, what was his right? He had 131 wins, 122 losses, 3 ties, right? The best series, he had a 4-year stretch with Cincinnati. And, his last 3 years in Cincinnati were just bad.
Remember, he was in the running for the Bills head coaching job.
Yeah. But look at this guy made 7 playoff appearances. 7. 1-0. Could not get out of the first round of the playoffs. So if I saw him coming, I'm like, are you serious? No, I respect Marvin Lewis. A lot of people like him. He's a respected coach out there. That's great. But I wouldn't want him as my head coach. I already see what he could do. And then towards the end of the final 4 years, it was just downhill. Why would you even try? Another guy, who doesn't get no love right now is Byron Leftwich. I get it. He's 3 years as offensive coordinator. Yeah. He's been with Bruce Arians pretty much everywhere. He was in Arizona, I guess, his last year there. And then he came with him to Tampa now. Yep. He's learned it from another good coach. Why not give Byron Leftwich a shot? He's young. Again, you're not going to have to probably pay him the big bucks like you're going to have to play some of these proven coaches. Just give him a shot, man. And especially if you're going into Houston. Look at another thing now. Houston's supposedly not even taking calls on Deshaun Watson. So they're going to force him to stay there.
That's a mess. He might even sit out the year. I wouldn't even doubt it.
I don't think he will. Because every day he sits out, I think we touched on this, it's $50,000. And I get it. Yo, are you really going to sit out the whole year and waste, what is he supposed to make, like $10 million or something like that? Yeah. And every day he sits out that $50,000, he has to pay it. Even if he says, hey, okay, I'm going back to camp, he still has to pay those back funds. So it doesn't matter.
I heard rumors about Denver being interested in him. I don't know if you heard anything about that.
I heard about that. I think one of the players, right?
One of the players. They're talking. I don't know how the cap space is or the trade. What they got to trade, but they want a lot for him. I don't know what. That's a mess. And becoming a head coach over there, I didn't think anybody wanted to go over there. To be honest with you.
Wouldn't you want a lot if you had Deshaun Watson and he wanted off your team? He's young.
Yeah. Absolutely. But it's a mess over there. Look what happened with J.J. Watt. He literally went on in front of the media and said, "Hey, you gotta work to win." Basically, calling the team out that they're not working. They don't have no pride. Yeah. That's rough. Now I'm hearing through the grapevine that people are like Buffalo Bills fans, especially like, "Oh, let's get J.J. Watt, this and that." Man, y'all need to stop. I don't think it's ever gonna happen. That's too much.
How long have I been saying that, though?
Yeah.
I've been saying it for a while. What is this? My one buddy, Chino, over here is saying, Will, are you talking about football and drinking team? Damn, Bills fans, laugh out loud. No, man, this is rum. Rum.
You got the hardcore stuff. I'm light. Actually, I got the extra, Corona extra.
Oh, I have some ice cubes melting in there, and I'm sipping on it. Good run, guys. Another thing he's saying is good run.
How long has Eric Bieniemy been with Andy Reid?
As an assistant, I'd have to look it up. I had it up here, but I don't have it right now.
He should have a head coaching job. If you want to talk about bottom line, if anybody deserves a head coaching job to me, it's Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah, why not? Like, is he that bad in interviews? Even if he is.
That's what the rumor is, but man, the dude knows football. Granted, he got a lot of weapons, but he's produced. Look at that offense. Look at how they're playing. What about Anthony Lynn? You could say that wasn't a good hire as a head coach.
And he had talent over there. The guy had talent. That's a good spot.
Did you see some of the games and some of the calls, some of the coaching mistakes he had towards the end of the games. I mean, they were actually competitive in a lot of the games. They lost a lot of games. I don't know the number, 5 or 6 of a touchdown or less. So they had the talent. They were in the games, but a couple games that I watched, there was some horrible coaching calls at the end. You know, time management situations. There was a whole bunch down and distance situations that were horrible. So I don't know, man. You know, I take him as a special teams coordinator because he was good, but other than that, I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Some people are, well, he already got a job as, I believe, an offensive coordinator. Some people are good coordinators. Some are good head coaches. By the way, Chino over here is like, good run, guys. Giants next season.
I don't know.
He's a Giant.
They were starting to look pretty good, man. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna front. They looked all right.
He also,
good luck next year, man.
He also said, I hope so. Drinking tea and talking football is a sin. Vin's always drinking brewski. Good man there. So, what up, Chino? Thanks for chiming in. Keep chiming in. I'll say what you say out there. Yeah, the whole Deshaun Watson, unless I'm getting a quarterback in return and a bunch of picks, I'm not doing it. That's why, to me, Miami would be the best spot. You get Tua and a bunch of picks. Unless the Jets are going to give up Bradford and 4 of their first-round picks, I'm not trading them there. You know.
Now, what do you think?
At least
what do you think? What do you think, real quick, about that Detroit trade?
Well, there you go. Look at you're like, man, transitioning, bro. It's like you saw my paper.
I'm just throwing it out there, man.
So, like everybody knows, the Detroit Lions and the Rams traded quarterbacks. Rams get Stafford. Guy's 32 years old. He still could sling the rock. They got a good squad over there. The Lions get Goff, 2022's first-round pick, 2023's first-round pick, and 2021's third-round pick. And Goff is 26 years old. I mean, who do you think won this trade right now?
I don't know, man. I'm split. You know, Sam is pretty good, but I mean, I think Detroit did a little bit better because they get the first-round picks. And Goff is a baller, man. I mean, he hurt his thumb. Remember, he have surgery? I believe he had surgery on his thumb, and he still was slinging the rock. I like Goff. I think he's got a lot of potential. You get the youth. He's still 26. He's still a kid. Plus, you get all those picks. I think Detroit did a little bit better than actually a lot better.
I agree with you. You get a 26-year-old guy. All right, he's still signed, I think, for 3 or 4 years, which is fine. Mm-hmm. You know, let's see now if he's really a good quarterback or if it's the system. Like everybody says, he plays well because it's the Rams system. So let's see. Maybe they could develop a system over there in Detroit for him. He's young. Now you have 4 first-round picks. Well, next year you have a third. You don't have that. 2 years from now, you already have 2 and 2. So you have you're building blocks, man, and especially in Detroit.
Absolutely.
You know, they need as much as they can. I like Detroit, what they did. I think it was pretty good. Yeah. Good for them, man. And again, that's for a 32-year-old. Huh?
I said Sam's a baller, though. I mean, I like the way he plays, but, he was getting beat up over there, man. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the clip. I think it's the longest NFL Films clip that's ever been played. It was when he was playing, I forgot the team it was, but he actually got hurt and went to the sideline. They had the camera on him the whole time. You got to look it up. And then he came back and made the winning touchdown at the end of the game. The guy got guts. He's a baller. I liked him, but in terms of the trade, I think Detroit made out a lot better.
Yeah, I think so too. Chino over there agrees too. I think, listen, it's good for the Rams. Stafford's a better quarterback, I think. He's just 32 years old. He has the weapons over there. So let's see what he could do. He's going from a dome to outside because the Rams play outside, right? So let's see. But, I mean, the guy's a vet. He should know what he has to do. But I think we all agree, man, the Lions, they were smart with that. Another quarterback who's not going nowhere supposedly now is Aaron Rodgers. Green Bay's GM went on there and said, I'd be crazy to trade this guy. Now, would you trade him?
He wants out, though. I think he wants out.
He just said he pretty much left it in the air. He didn't say yes. He didn't say no. Now, personally, it depends where you see yourself. Because, listen, I know Aaron Rodgers is a great quarterback. He probably wins MVP if not Mahomes gets it, even though I think Allen still should get it. You can call me a hammer or whatever you want, but nobody expected Allen to do what he did and to get his team to that record. Nobody thought that. People see Aaron Rodgers and they expect it. And that's kind of messed up because you expect it from Aaron Rodgers. You can say you expect it from Mahomes now. So should they be penalized and not get the MVP? Or should you look at Allen and be like, yo, this guy came out of nowhere and led his team to 13-3 and could have been 14-2.
Yeah, from a Hail Mary way. And by the way, what's his name? What's the name? I caught that Hopkins. Did you hear him? He's making a chain. He's making a chain with that Hail Mary. He's customizing a chain with all the 3 DBs. Come on, man.
I heard him say something. I didn't know what he was talking about. I didn't read it because he said
he's trying to make a chain up with all the 3 DBs and him catching the ball. But anyway, that's some other stuff, man. Why do guys do that? Why not be humble, man? That's what I love about the Buffalo Bills. That's what I love about Josh Allen. That's why they were talking smack about Diggs, about the culture he was going to bring from Minnesota. But he's been a humble dude, man. Beasley, a humble guy. That's what I like. That's what I love about the team. They're like blue collared, you know what I'm saying? Just humble guys, man.
That's what gets on my nerves about Kansas City. I'm sorry. People love Mahomes, but Mahomes always has to be number one in everything. If you ever see his tweets, it's like, really? Or I got to be number one. Why not number one? Come on, man. Stay humble. And like I said before, you guys are playing in a different league. And I know Allen's part of it. All these people now are part of it. It's a different league. You think in the old league, Hopkins would be able to wear a chain like that on the field? That boy would get decapitated the next game. He would have a hit on him. You can't do that no more. You can't hit the receivers because they're defenseless. Stop it. Remember the old times. These guys would have gotten lit up. Look at Tua. They were talking to Tua on the NFL Network the other day, and he's like, oh, no, I still have to learn a lot, blah, blah, blah. But nobody brought up, well, I thought you said it was this league was easy. It was easy for like a week, right? Or 2. That was it. By the way, Cheeto says he thinks their dome is their stadium's retractable.
Though. Yeah, it is. So. It is. FOI Stadium, whatever it is a retractable. Yeah. I was going to bring that up, but we're already way past it. Thanks, Cheeto. Appreciate that. We should get Cheeto as the stats guy.
He's a Giant fan, so I don't know. Real quick, another quarterback news is the Saints are saying they have interest in bringing back Jameis Winston. I think it's a smart move as long as they could afford him. They might not be able to afford him either. They have cap problems over there. So who knows where Jameis will go. If I'm Jameis, sign a small or a shorter contract or put a lot of incentives in there where you can make your money. Yeah. But it's a great place to play. You got weapons all around you, and you got one of the best coaches in Peyton over there, Yeah.
I think he's going to stay. He's great. He had his eye surgery and everything, so I think he's ready to step up again, man.
Yeah, why not?
You think if Winston was at Tampa Bay, he'd take him to the Super Bowl, or you think it's all Brady?
He has the talent. The guy put up crazy numbers. If you blame his eyes or his shoulder, where he had surgery for all that stuff, so he should be fine. But he put up crazy numbers. The only bad thing was he threw a lot of interceptions too. Would they have gotten to the Super Bowl? I don't know. I don't know if they would have thought, when they were losing, they'd be like, hey, let's keep going. We could come back. Tom Brady's not going to let you relax or think you're going to lose, even if you're losing by 10 points. Look at what they were down in Atlanta, 20-something in the Super Bowl. Yep. They came back and won.
Yeah, so but Winston didn't have AB. He didn't have Gronkowski. He didn't have all those other weapons either.
Well, if you look, Gronk really hasn't done much. He's been blocking a lot this year.
He does look a lot better than he did in the beginning of the season. This beginning of the season, he looked like he was all frail. Now he's like, I think he's in shape. For the Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, a year off, and then he had to learn their system, which is, he's a crazy guy, but I think they'll be fine. One hire this week was,
Sound like the cops coming to get you over there.
I think it was a fire department right now. The Colts are hiring Hall of Famer Kevin Mawai to be assistant offensive line coach. I actually like that hire. Yeah. I always respected Kevin Mawai, whether he was on the Titans And even when he was on the Jets, I didn't like him on the Jets because the guy was a beast, man.
He's a beast.
He's always good center. Guy was a monster, man. And when he became a free agent, I wanted the Bills to get him, but they didn't. He stayed with the Jets and finished off there on that scrub gangrene team. So we already talked Watson. That was one thing.
Hey, humble. Be humble. They got a lot of cap money. They kept Sam Bradford. I thought that was a good. I think they did. Sam Bradford. I think they did a good job of keeping the quarterback. And I don't know, man. The Jets. Listen, the AFC East gonna be no joke. I don't think it's gonna be a cakewalk for the Bills. Jets are doing everything. They got a lot of cap money. New England said they're gonna aggressively approach quarterback. So who knows? We might be in for some surprises on this in the next couple of weeks on who the New England Patriots are going to get as quarterback. Miami, they're pretty decent. Look at their defense this year. Look how they did. If Tua could actually sling the rock, because I wasn't too impressed with him, I told you during the season, if Tua could actually sling the rock pretty decent, they're going to be in contention too. So this AFC East is going to be off the chain, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's nasty. Yeah, we've been saying it all year. The teams, they have a lot of money unless they don't spend it right. You know, a lot of these players are going to see there's not that much money this year to go around. So they're going to go and try to bleed these teams and be like, hey, you want me? You're going to pay for me. You know, and I don't blame them. Get it while you can, especially with the cap dropping. I mean, right now, Jacksonville, they're going to have the top money spot. I think they have 79 million. Jets have 75. A team I'm surprised is the Colts.
Somewhere I thought Eric Bieniemy would have been good going to. Yeah. Would have been Jacksonville.
The Colts, 78 million. And New England Patriots have 68 million. Then it starts dropping. You know, even Tampa with the squad they have right now, they have 38 million freed cash. Again, I don't know how many.
We're like 8 million.
I don't know.
10 million.
Who, us? Right now we're bad. According to an article I read, they have 8 million over the cap right now in 2021 with 22 pending free agents. So a lot of these young kids are going to be getting called up. Who knows how our roster is going to look next year? Again, let's see who reconstructed their contracts. One thing they did do was they waived DJ Gaines. That saved us like $850,000. You know, he opted out to cover COVID this year. You had other players step up. So, hey, give that money to somebody else.
Tell you what, for next year, how about we make a list of who you think is going to get cut, who you think is going to stay, who you think is going to restructure. Let's just give a.
We got to pace ourselves. We won't have to pace ourselves. Our off season started, but you know it's going to be a while.
You're right. You know what? I'm just a little nervous. I ain't gonna lie. I'm nervous about the cap, and I'm nervous about, you know, you're gonna see people's true colors. I know Josh wants to stay. You know, I know Diggs wants to stay. They're pretty much gonna be locked in. But this stuff with Milano, you know, Milano asking for top dollar and stuff. Does he deserve it? You know, I think another year, then he could ask for the money. But you know, he's injury prone. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't played the whole season.
Well,
so 14 million, 14.5 asking price to me is a little bit too much. You know, Jerry Hughes, I love to keep him. You know, Mitch Morse might be gone. There's a lot of guys. Addison might be gone. There's a lot of guys that I want to stay, but
again, you'd have to see. You know, maybe Mitch takes a pay cut. Maybe, who knows? You know, he's scheduled to make $7 million right now. The highest payroll next year would be Stephon Diggs with 11.6. Trey, 10.4. And this is not counting signing bonuses and stuff. Deion Dawkins, he's 7. Mitch Morris is 7. Mary Addison, 6. John Brown, 7. And that's a problem. Listen, John Brown, if he doesn't reconstruct his contract, we could see him possibly, with Davis stepping up like he did. You have Cole Beasley. You have the kid Kumaro. You went and signed Kenny Stills. That could be writing on the wall, you know. Listen. And I know I was always saying, listen, we can
only like 853,000. Isaiah McKenzie, so he might stay.
Listen, Isaiah McKenzie, they should sign him, get rid of Roberts. You know, we'll talk about this at a different time. McKenzie could return punts. You know, he could return kickoffs. Now you could put one of the running backs to return kickoffs or something, or a rookie. You know, so there's There's
Yeah,
options.
I think you're right. I think Andre Roberts might be done in Buffalo. I think Isaiah McKenzie being it's such a low cap hit, it's only 853,000 that he earned last year.
Yeah,
You're right. He can return punts. He returned one against what Miami,
yeah,
kickoff returns, and that famous jet sweep that he does.
yeah. I know I've been saying it for I don't know how long since, especially I think it was when JJ started saying he was upset. Not that, but now you see it everywhere. Can JJ be traded to Buffalo? Could he be go to Buffalo? I mean, right now JJ is scheduled to make 17.5 million this year. You would have to trade. Let's just say if this was Madden, I would trade John Brown, Hughes, and somebody else just to have enough money for one guy.
Yeah,
You
man, it ain't
know, listen,
happening.
I love Jerry Hughes, but 6 million for 4.5 sacks. I mean, he was one of
This,
the top pressure rating guys supposedly,
yeah,
but still, I
yeah.
think it's crazy. I don't know. I like him, but I don't know if I'd be keeping him.
There's a lot of projections out there floating around on the internet about Richard Sherman trying to be that number 2 spot in Buffalo. I don't know if you read anything about that, but I don't. Yeah,
I didn't.
That-
I didn't see that. That's another
yeah,
guy who's been getting hurt every year,
yeah, yeah. I
and
mean,
how much money is he going to want?
I don't know,
You
but I
know,
like your boy. I like Levi Wallace. I think he's a baller. You know what I'm saying? I
I like
think
Wallace. You
Norman might
know,
be gone. I think Norman will be gone too. Norman probably be
Norman,
gone this year too.
unless he's going to take a real big pay cut, Norman will be gone. Uh, who knows what Wallace will want? I'm not sure what he's looking for in money. Who is the other guy? Teron Johnson's a
Johnson,
free agent.
Johnson. He's probably gonna get
So
some big money. Look at the 2 picks he had in the playoffs against Pittsburgh and against
yeah,
Baltimore. So his stock went way up. You know, I mean,
yeah,
he had the
yeah, but
longest.
he's
Mhm.
still a slot corner.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
really wasn't out there on his own. But we had Jackson step up. So that's big for us
Yeah,
because you
Dave
had the
Jackson.
rookie come in and he played
Yeah,
like a pro.
yeah. He
So
played really
who
well.
knows? There's a lot of we're going to talk about all that because it's crazy.
Man,
Look,
me and you were
one thing,
worried about what was going to happen after the Bills didn't make it to the Super Bowl, about what material we're going to have for show. Stay tuned, y'all. We're going to have a lot of material for y'all.
we're going to drag it out. uh, another thing I read today is that tight end Lee Smith is contemplating retirement. And I think he sees the writing on the wall too. Lee Smith is scheduled to make $2,250,000 to block once in a while.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen. You got all these rookies sitting there, Well, Knox is not a rookie, but you got Sweeney who was hurt. Tyler Croft is coming off of our off the books. I don't think Lee's going to be there. I think that's why he's like, hey, man, I put on about 40 pounds.
Yep.
Not sure if I'm going to want to lose it.
I thought he ate the
Yeah.
whole turkey. But he was a heck of a blocker, man. But the thing is,
Yeah.
teams knew when he was in there, it was a run block scheme. But Brandon Beane has specifically said that they're going to address the tight end position. So
Yes.
we're going to see what happens with Croft
But
and Lee Smith and Sweeney. They might be.
he also said he's not going to be aggressive in free agency. So we're not going to be seeing big moves. He's going to try to do everything within as long as they can, especially with the cap. The cap is killing us. It's going to kill a lot of teams. Right now, I was looking, Kansas City, I think is going to be, I think right now they're 8 million above the cap. Right now, I believe. So who knows what they're going to do too. Let's see what they do. They're a really good team. Another thing, I know we hit on it a little bit. So fines came out. Josh Allen got fined $15,000 for tossing it, not even throwing it hard, tossing it. John Feliciano and Deion Dawkins both got fined $10,000 for the shoving. Kansas City players got fined
zero.
$0.
What about when Smith, whatever the name, hit Feliciano, punched him? What about when John Brown got slammed? What about all those things?
And that's what got on my nerves because I know they rewatched the game. All right. So I'm not sure if they could find him being that it wasn't called a penalty. But if you see it happen in the game, I know they find players before stuff they've done during the game.
They should.
But this just makes you go like I was listening again. I listened to the NFL Network when I'm driving to work sometimes, and the caller's like, "Well, how come Jones, he didn't get in trouble or blah blah blah," and it's like, why hasn't this guy? He didn't get fined, and not even that. The guys was like, "Well, you can see, Kansas City's the NFL's team, their little child." Like I compare Mahomes to Sidney Crosby for the NHL when he was there. He was like their golden boy. Mahomes
Yeah.
is their golden boy right now. Kansas City's the
So
team
you
now,
think? Let me ask you a question. Do you think Mahomes is taking that crown from Brady as being the golden child? You think
Everybody's going to give it
he's
to
getting
him
up to it?
if they win. If he finally beats Brady now, everybody's going to give it to him. It's going to be like the passing of the torch. Again, I look at it different. Yeah, I mean, the kid has been blessed with a good team around him. So you can't hate him. I can sip on some haterade a little, but you can't really hate him. The guy's good. He's,
They balling. Yeah, they balling, man.
I just don't like they get so cocky, especially like Kelsey. Kelsey gets on my nerves. But anyway, Jones should have been fined for at least a punch. If you're not going to fine Okafor for taking him down past the whistle, because if you watched it, it
Yeah,
was like at least 2 seconds. The guy was blowing the
yeah,
freaking whistle. Jones let go, but he had to take him down. Made no
yeah.
sense. And he came into the play after Jones really released him, because Jones was like, "All
Mhm.
right, whistle's done." Guy comes, takes him down. Should have been a penalty. Well, he did get a penalty, but it should have been a fine also. I just
Yeah.
thought some BS, Kansas City. BS. One move the Bills did where they re-signed Jordan Devy to a 1-year deal. That's just a cheap contract. He finishes 8th year in the league, so now he'll be in for one more unless he doesn't make the squad. Salary cap, like I said, dropping from 210 to 175. 35 million drop off, putting the Bills as of right now 8 million over cap for next year with 22 pending free agents. And Matt Milano looking for that huge outside linebacker money. We're going to lose Matt. Hopefully he doesn't go to the Jets. Hopefully he doesn't go to the Patriots. But guess what? Belichick loves picking up the Bills players when they're free agents. He's done it plenty of times, and he loves defensive players.
See what he
And
gets
Matt
for
Milano
linebacker.
is a beast. In order for them to get Matt Milano, they'd have to get rid of AJ Klein and say Hughes and offer him like $10 million a year. He can't get $14 million. He'd be the highest paid player on our team. He's not worth that. I'm sorry. You give him 7, you give him 8. All right, I'll take that. Not 14. So
A lot of money.
it's crazy. So looking at the Super Bowl, man.
We're gonna make it quick, bro. I don't even want to get into it like that.
Who you gonna root for, man?
I can't stand neither of them, but I think realistically, being that we love football, I think, man, it's going to be a good one. But I think Kansas City might pull it off. I can't see Tampa stopping, Kelsey and Hill, and and Mahomes got 2 more weeks to heal that foot and that concussion or whatever he had. Which didn't really affect them against the Bills because we didn't apply pressure. If Kansas City, I'm going straight to it. If Kansas City can apply the pressure they did to Josh Allen against Tom Brady, I think it might be a high-scoring game in terms of Kansas City, getting 32, 33 points, and Tampa Bay maybe getting 24. So, on the other hand, if Tom Brady can stay in the pocket and get his weapons, AB and freaking Gronkowski and Devin, and I think it's going to be a shootout, but I think Kansas City will apply more pressure to Brady like they did to Josh, and I think they're going to pull out the win. So I got Kansas City maybe 32-24.
I mean, Bobby, I don't know if Bobby's listening, but I wonder if Spagnuolo was the defensive coordinator when the Giants won the Super Bowls those last few times. Maybe Chino over here might know if he's still listening. By the way, he said we need to re-sign Don Beebe. Thought you would like that.
Yeah, I love I love Don Beebe.
Yeah. If Spagnuolo was on that squad, then maybe listen, if they try to press their receivers, I don't think they're going to be able to do it like ours. I mean, Evans is a big physical guy.
Yeah,
Gronkowski's a big physical guy. Uh, they don't really have an Edelman type kind of guy over there, which Tom Brady would love that. I think they
yeah,
played in Kansas City, beat them by 3 points the first time,
yeah,
and
yeah,
he wasn't used to their offense, and they weren't gelling yet.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
These guys have been on a tear; they've been gelling, and their defense is playing pretty damn good. So
yeah,
if they could get to Kansas City, they get Mahomes. It's going to be a long day. You
yeah,
know. Uh, then they had the scare. I know Richardson, their one receiver, I think is in COVID protocol. I'm not sure if he'll be able to get out. The
wow,
one guy, their center was getting a haircut, and their barber ended up getting news that he tested positive for COVID. So, the center's been home, was sent home. I think he already had one negative test, so they got to wait and see. So, if he ends up being positive, he can't play in the Super Bowl. They had a few other guys that were lined up ready to get haircuts, but none of those guys have tested positive. And I guess that's not close contact because,
yeah,
they would have lost a few players. And, the NFL's not going to allow that. Not for Kansas City.
yeah. They could do like Colin Cowherd and be like, hey, when Mahomes' concussion gets good, then we could play. That's what he said when Mahomes had that concussion protocol, whatever, against the Bills. Come on now, really?
Yo, let me ask you a question. Did that guy ever pay up the bet with the whole
Yeah, he
catch
sure
up?
did. Nick Wright. Nick Wright. Yeah, yeah, he did. If you go to Colin Cowherd he did actually pay it off. He's put on the Bills shirt. He couldn't find his Bills jersey. Go figure. So he had a
Uh-huh.
Bills shirt made up. And they were in the middle of an alleyway, and two girls escorted him with mustard and ketchup. He had a hot dog and smeared it and ate it. He's like, all right, I'm done. But he paid up the debt. I got to give it to him. Yeah.
I
But
wanted
Nick
to see
Wright,
it. I haven't seen
he's
it.
a Kansas City. He loves Kansas City. So, he's gonna talk. He doesn't like Josh for some reason. He does not like the Bills. But we proved him wrong. I mean, he ain't made the bet. He had to eat the bet.
A lot of people hate on him. I don't know why people hate on Buffalo, man. It's ridiculous. Makes no sense. Looking at the game, yeah, I think, hey, man, I'm rooting for Tampa. I'm sorry. I don't want to see
All right.
Kansas City win. Andy Reid, I love Andy Reid. He got his. That's fine. I sip on that Kansas City haterade. Never
So
big
what's
fan
your
of
score?
Kansas.
What's your score? I know we're gonna be split then. So I got Kansas City, 32-24, and so we're gonna have a split here. What do you think? So you got
I stink
Tampa
with
Bay.
I stink with these things. I'll say Tampa Bay 28. I don't even know it could be as 28-24. I want Tampa to win. I've always respected Tom. To be the man, you gotta beat the man. And I don't know. Tampa's like my NFC team before Tom got there. Old creamsicles with the Buccaneer on the side. I always liked those guys
Damn
back
you
in the day
old.
with Eric Rhett and Steve Young was their quarterback and Trent Dilford. I actually like Trent Dilford and those guys. So, then they got really good with Sapp and Lynch and Derek Brooks. Those guys were monsters back then, and I've always loved defense, and that was a nasty defensive
I used to
squad.
like the fullback. What was his name? Doggone big old fullback that they used to have.
Mike Allstott.
All stop the train, yeah, the A train, man. That dude, I was watching film on him the other day, man. Wow, what memories those days were, man.
He was a beast. That's when you could
Yeah,
lower your head and you could actually hit
yeah,
people.
yeah.
Hey, man.
So
Uh,
that's it. That's it. I got the Kansas City Chiefs. Will got Tampa Bay. We'll see y'all next
right.
week, I guess, and see what happens. Are you gonna if Kansas City wins, you're gonna have your haterade, and if Tampa Bay wins, I might have my haterade. So we'll see. We'll see what goes on.
How could you root for Kansas City, man?
How can you root for Tom Brady? See, you asked me
Humble.
a question. I
How
answered it right
many?
back.
How many rings does Tom have? How
I
many
don't care. I
rings?
don't want him to get another one. I don't want him to get another one.
How many rings could he have had? The only time he did anything, you could even say, like if it was douchey a little bit, was when he took a picture with all the rings. And you can't hate him for that. That guy, yeah, his whole career, he's been humble. Straight humble.
I don't know about humble, man. I don't know about all that.
You
I seen
never
a lot of
hear.
his tweets, a lot of his videos that he talk about the mafia and all that. Come on, man. You forget. You got that rum and that tea or whatever you're drinking over there. It's got to be a little movie. I remember.
Yeah, but he's never been like, yo, they suck. Yo, these people suck. Yo, I'm better than everybody in here. He's not that guy.
The Bills. He dominated the Bills. What is it like? I don't even know his record. I think he lost like 3 times to the Bills, like 25 and 3 or something like that.
But he never said any of that stuff. He was never running around saying, yo, I'm the GOAT. I'm number one. This kid, yeah, he won a Super Bowl. He already thinks he's the best thing. He thinks he's the best quarterback ever already. It's like, come on, man. Stop it. Learn from Tom.
You're gonna make me not want to watch the damn Super Bowl. Shut your mouth already. It's bad enough I don't want to watch it right now. You really talking me out of it.
I hope Tampa wins. Let's go, Tampa. Anyway.
I hope KC wins.
It's horrible. We're signing out. Peace out, everybody. Adios.
Have a good one. See y'all next week.
Yeah, enjoy the Super Bowl. Peace. We'll see ya. Nos vemos.